Today I'd like to talk to you about idolatry. A person, by nature, needs to believe in something, have some kind of idols to equalize with something. It's, as I understand, it's a part of our nature. Or is it a result of the development of society? Well, no. In general, faith is something that highly developed organisms possess. We can't say that some primitive beings or animals believe. Belief is man's inner motion who wishes to position himself on some foundation, basis, some natural or scientific foundation where he can rely on something, meaning to compare yourself with some kind of absolute. Well, these are already more developed forms and beliefs. So it's a basic need in a person. Of course. And it happens precisely because a person feels he doesn't feel confident in himself. What do you believe in? I don't believe in anything. And I don't bow to anyone or anything, on the one hand. On the other hand, there are such things in me, or there are such things that I respect, that I aspire for. Well, you can say that I bow to them, so to speak, but it's more similar to respect. What's the difference between idolatry and reverence or respect? The thing is that bowing to someone or something always exists in our world and determines the difference between people. It grades better, worse, prettier, stronger, things like that. And idolatry, this is a completely different attitude towards some natural occurrences that I attribute special qualities to. And I dilute these qualities of nature with my own qualities because it's more convenient for me, or qualities that I've invented in me, suppose. So idolatry, one way or another, means to bow to worship idols, gods, and these gods were brought sacrifices, even human sacrifices. In our world, we bring sacrifices too, that I get up, that I go to work, that I do something for myself, for others, that I receive from them, for myself, things like that. What is there about it such that you can call sacrifice or not a sacrifice? It's simply that usually what we call sacrifice is some kind of. Suppose that a person sacrifices something. He sacrifices something from himself for something that's important to him. Yes, time, attention. But what I wanted to ask is, even from history, that in ancient Israel, when there already was monotheism, archaeologists still find from the times of the first temple, for example, they found many idols and gods. And how could it be in a nation that believes in one God, that on the other hand, they worship different idols? Look at little children. The things that they create for themselves, build for themselves. They take some little toy with them that comforts them, gives them a sense of security, etc., etc. Meaning, to hold on to something familiar, to something that you're common, something that you're used to, gives a person a sense of security. This is the very basis of idol worshipping, etc. Do you consider Abraham to be the first to shatter the idols and that he acknowledged that there is one God, or even before him there were? I think that it was Abraham. Before him, obviously, there were many people that believed in different gods, and after him, too, many. But he established an attitude toward nature as one force that sustains everything, encompasses everything, and that's how you need to relate to this force. Well, idolatry is considered bowing to different or worshipping different ideas, personalities. Suppose the idea of like all the wars that you had since Alexander the Great through Napoleon, etc., to free yourself. So believing in this, to some extent, we're all in that. Man doesn't see it, but one way or another, he fights the idolatry in himself. And what about all the charms, red strings, holy waters, all that too is idolatry? Of course. Of course. That is pure idolatry, yes. And supposed to acquire, as you said, some kind of a person needs to come to the quality of bestowal, of becoming like the Creator, aspiring for it. Is that not idolatry? No, it's not. Because I aspire to position the Creator above myself and to constantly direct myself at Him, to constantly define Him more and more precisely. Directing myself, I need to all the time improve my qualities until I will bring myself to complete adhesion with the Creator. Worshipping some personality, that's idolatry too, as I understand. Yeah. What's worse from God's point of view? To worship rocks, animals, people, ideas? Is there some kind of gradation? It depends on a person. Or you can even say it depends on a person who chooses what to worship. Is there a difference where if I put some kind of idol and worship it, or some great idea in terms of my development? In terms of development, of course, there's a difference. To worship a person, a man born from a woman, made out of biological stuff, and that exists temporarily and that does not possess unbounded abilities. What am I bowing to? I kind of bow to the heights that he has achieved throughout his life, but nonetheless, it's very personal and very limited. So it's not that what we mean in relation to the Creator. Yeah, but bowing to this or worshipping personality is higher than worshipping some stone. Yeah, a stone is something completely different. So we as a mankind went through these stages already. Not necessarily. I see how many people drive to Jerusalem to cry at the wall, at the Western Wall, put different notes between the rocks. I don't think that we've passed that. I think that it's still ahead of us. When a student carries out the instructions of his teacher unequivocally, isn't that idolatry? No. What he worships, so to speak, is the knowledge and achievement of his teacher and not the person himself. Well, it's very hard to define this. I can say I bow not to the person himself, but to his ideas, his qualities. Of course, no problem, that's something else. So only a person himself can define what does he worship or bow to. We're talking only about man himself. How can you know how is he aspiring for what? So there's no indicator. No, of course not. In spiritual things, there is no external indicator whatsoever. So I can look at some aborigine that wears some kind of amulet. It gives a person a sense of security, like a child who takes some toy with him because he's used to it and it calms him down. There's a scientific idolatry is that many people rely on science more than on themselves and God. Is this kind of approach, is it considered idolatry too? Meaning worshipping or bowing to science. Depends how you do it. If it's just in order to get some kind of information, in order to advance, then no. But if it stops a person and he bows specifically to what he has received from science, thinking that that is the end, then that is idolatry. What is idolatry for you? I don't know. Each person needs to define that for himself. Every person. How do you define it for yourself? What things do you consider as idolatry? Believing in another person. So if a person relies on himself and he thinks that there is no other force, of course he raises himself to a degree which is, of course, idolatry. Can we say that the Creator in nature, through negative experiences, the Creator wishes to teach us something? Absolutely true. Precisely through negative experiences do we need to bring into our world, into this world, the idea and the attainment, the achievement of absolute higher, upper reason. So, suppose when a person, he worshipped different gods, made different idols, since then and until science, where a person thinks that only he governs the entire world, and up to the degree where a person attains that there's only one upper force, higher force. And until then, everything else could be considered idolatry. Yeah. So unless the Creator is revealed to a person, then he is an idolater. All of us are idolaters until we reveal the Creator. Something for us is, there's some kind of fetish, some kind of idol, some kind of something. So if I think that some kind of nation started a war, another nation, if someone did something against me, and I don't feel the one unified force behind it, then this kind of attitude is called idolatry. Yeah, you believe that someone else besides the Creator did it, and that is already idolatry. Once you wrote that depicting the Creator in any other way besides bestowal and love of man is idolatry. Can you explain? Because the Creator is a quality. It is a force. It is an idea. It is a unique quality in nature, the highest one, the most calm and general one. And it includes everything in it. If I depict it as something tangible, then that is already idolatry. I narrow down his concept to something maybe even egoistic, to an egoistic kind of manifestation of something. So the upper force that governs everything, it's Look, you can consider it that way too, but it's incomplete. Bowing to your own ego, is that idolatry? Sure it is. How not to be an idolater? To constantly work on developing yourself. And developing yourself, as I understand it, you explained that it all the time comes through the group, through society, through connection. Can this connection not become a kind of idol? It can. It depends on how you turn to it, develop it. There could be many different methods, theories, and wrong ones. How to keep the balance between attaining the Creator and the unity of people. The Creator is attained in the unity between people. The correct connection between people is the revelation of the Creator, the manifestation of the Creator. Baal Salam in his article, Body and Soul, writes that it's forbidden for us. He says that if I imagine to myself something beyond what I sense in my senses, that's idolatry. What is that? If you perceive or grasp that which you don't really grasp, then you merely depict it to yourself, and that's idolatry. To depict something existing in my uncorrected, non-spiritual qualities as existing is sheer idolatry. You can't call it anything else. Well, connection, love, bestowal, we can't imagine that either. Yeah, but you don't depict it as something existing in and of itself, but as existing between people. Therefore, he says here that if something exists in and of itself, regardless of man, if a person depicts that, then that's idolatry. Yeah, that there's some god sitting someplace, something. Nah, that's altogether very ancient kind of depictions, imaginations. Okay, going a bit deeper, if man asks God or the Creator to correct his attitude toward him and not to correct himself, you write that that is idolatry too, meaning thinking that the Creator needs to change his attitude in relation to me. Yeah, that's idolatry, meaning it's incorrect depiction of the Creator, as if the Creator is now doing evil and I'll ask him and he'll do good. So that's what we all ask, actually. That's the problem. What are we asking for? Do I ask the Creator to change or for myself to change? Well, for the Creator to change his attitude, for the Creator to change his attitude, meaning that right now he's bad. And when I'll ask him, he'll become good. Or do I need to ask to change, for myself to change and see that the Creator's attitude toward me is wonderful? Well, the scheme is, it's simple. There are problems, a person turns to the Creator to remove these problems, to change me, and then I'll stop seeing the problems. So if I ask for the Creator to take these problems away, I'm an idolater, of course. So I need to ask him not to take away these problems, but for me to see only good things in them. Yeah, to correct yourself. How's that possible? How? I see myself from morning till evening surrounded by different negative forces that are working on me. I need to ask to see them, their action on me, as something positive, meaning I need to change in order for these forces to act on me positively, to see them positively, in a positive way and not in a negative one. Okay, if I give something without knowing what do I give, who do I give, and the Creator doesn't know about that, and society doesn't know about that, and other people, like I said, don't know about that, then this kind of selfless giving, isn't that idolatry? I don't know, because you said that the Creator doesn't know about that too. That's what's puzzling. I don't know. It's a question. It's what I depict to myself, that I can perform such an action that the Creator doesn't know about it, and I don't, and others don't, and then I do it. Right? Yeah. How do I do it? What for? For the sake of what? Without any awakening? Well, I want to be like the Creator. I understand that He is absolute giving, bestowal. He has the ability to perform such actions regardless of himself. I want to do the same. Do. Is that not idolatry? It is. That too? Yeah. So what's not idolatry? Because you consider we need to, unfold it a bit more. I mean, if the Creator knows that, suppose people don't know, but the Creator does. Okay, obviously, that it's not a selfless act. But if I know for sure that the Creator doesn't know either, and people don't know, and it's hidden from me myself, this kind of bestowal, how are you going to do it? How? I don't know. Suppose theoretically you did it, and then what? Who gets from it what? Did the world change for the better? Well, I'm supposed to rejoice at what you did. Yeah. Is there a result? Or are you just glad about what you did? Well, the result is that I came closer to the Creator. That's a big egoism. Theoretically, it says that He's the quality of bestowal, absolute altruism. I want to be like Him, so I try to do the same. This kind of action. And if I do it, then it means that I come closer to Him. And that's true. So I'm saying, is that not called idolatry, like everything else? For you, the Creator, is He a kind of standard? Yes. You want to be like Him? Yes. And what? And my qualities, the quality of love, bestowal, selfless, help, etc., etc. Do it. And that will not be considered idolatry? No. Why? Because it's bestowal. You want to be like Him. He is the absolute that works only on bestowal. You want to be like Him, then work on bestowal. No, why is it not considered idolatry? So idolatry is when you want to receive something for yourself. Okay.
Вы часто говорите, что человек сам создает Творца. Не является?
You said that the Creator Himself creates the Creator. Is that not idolatry? When man creates the Creator, this is usually what happens in all religions and things like that. Then that is actually idolatry. Many times we say that we, in our connection, we create the Creator. No, we create the quality we call Creator. And that's not considered idolatry. No, we're not creating the Creator. I'm not shaping anything for myself in order to bow to some kind of matrushka, idol, sculpture. So, without revealing this force in our emotion, the absolute altruistic force in nature, without revealing it, you're an idolater, one way or another. We are all idolaters until we, even to some extent, become like the Creator, meaning the absolute quality of bestowal, that's a bit above zero. That already is a quality that is above the egoistic work called idolatry. Thank you very much for these scrutinies, spiritual states, idolatry. Till next time, all the best.